Hey everyone, welcome back to Jillin Off. I am one of your hosts, Christina Walkinshaw. With me as always,
Jen Murphy. I
I
haven't seen you in so long, Christina.
I feel like you were wearing that outfit last week.
I was wearing this last week too. Same hairdo, same everything. Oh, same beer. Oh, weird.
Oh, that's weird. Oh my God. Well, it's because it's 9.1%, so it probably took you all week to get done.
Yeah, it took me all week. And we're here with the lovely Haley again.
Hello, hello.
Haley
Hi,
did some
Haley.
research for us.
I did. So last week we were talking about vasectomies,
Yes.
and we didn't know if men ejaculated
Right.
after. How do they not get people pregnant? So the vasectomy blocks off the production of sperm, which is a different entity, and that is the thing that gets girls pregnant. But the same functions happen. So typically sperm mixes with other fluids, which makes up semen. So it just semen sans the sperm.
Oh, wow. All right, so
Feels the
So
same,
it's
does
not
the same
pee.
thing. No.
they're not jizzing pee now.
You know how there's
Good to know.
always that debate when if they say if girls squirt, and some
Oh,
people
yeah.
are like, there's no such thing as squirting. It's just peeing. They're just peeing. The great squirt debate.
Like, wait. I can't even say it. The great sperm debate. Squirt debate, sorry.
The great squirt debate.
Oh,
Thank you,
that's- I'm glad we
Haley.
got that lesson. 'Cause now I know it's safe to bareback with vasectomy guys.
But if they get it within 3 months, it's not effective yet because it will still live in their semen.
See, that's maybe what my uncle and my brother-in-law were talking about. They're like, "Oh, watch
Yeah.
out! It doesn't always take, or it doesn't always work." Or, like,
Ooh, yeah,
be
3
careful.
months. That's a long time.
And even weirder, the sperm that is not released just gets reabsorbed into their body.
oh my God! What if men with vasectomies start getting pregnant? I'll be so excited. Oh no, went back up.
Wow. Where did they go?
Oh my God. Where do all the lost sperm go?
wonder
Where
if their
have all
balls
the
just look like-
spermies gone?
Maybe that's what that
Is that what that Paula Cole song's about?
maybe all the
It
sperm.
wasn't Paula Cole.
Isn't that what you said about the guy who had kind of a gut and you said
Yeah, loads Magoo.
you said it was all his unused sperm?
Dad bod is just a collection of unspooged loads that have worked their way up into the gut. Maybe that is. Maybe dad bod is actually vasectomy bod, and it is scientifically the sperm going back
Yeah, see?
into their body.
You really should be a scientist.
I mean, I'm probably a doctor, right? Like, I'm probably a natural born scientist. You're right.
Speaking of doctors.
Oh yes, perfect segue.
Although you know what I thought today?
What?
How do we know he's a doctor?
I know they could just say that.
This guy I met in San Luis Obispo said he was a doctor. Then me and Christina was like, "Ooh, that's cool." And then today I was like, "He could be anything." I didn't see any proof.
I feel like I believe him. He was ordering.
He
a
never
Mac-
got called in on an emergency.
That's very true. Jen and I. Okay, so Jen and I
We
did.
took an adventure.
We took an adventure. Jen picks me up on Friday to go. No, sorry, Saturday because we're going to Sparks, Nevada, and she's like, "Oh, my tire light is on. That's weird, but I mean, it probably just comes on like for no reason, or too soon, or it probably still is gonna be
It
fine."
just came on that morning, and so I
Just
thought
came
they
on.
just needed some air.
So she got some air,
And it was
then-
still on.
Then it's weird. The light was still on, and then we're driving on a freeway. We weren't on the 5. We took some connector to go over
14 up to Palmdale,
14 in Palmdale, and then guess what happened? The tire flew off the car.
going 85.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
And you did such a good job of controlling the car and getting us over
10
the
and 2.
shoulder. You
10
were
and 2.
so good.
I was like,
You're like, oh my God, there goes the tire. And I was like, what?
then yet I was in the carpool lane, so I had to careen across 4 lanes, like.
Oh, I know.
And I look in the rear view and the tire's spinning behind me. I told Christina, I'd be more terrified to be one of the cars behind me, just seeing this tire like coming towards you.
That's true.
Yeah.
It would have been freaky.
Because it didn't just fall, like I saw it rolling. I was like, oh shit.
Oh my God.
But I think it was easier to kind of go across those 4 lanes because, well, no, not everyone would see it actually. But people behind us a couple of them would know what was happening.
Yeah.
And probably with the car shaking up and down, they knew something was wrong.
Oh, maybe.
I'm surprised you didn't freak out more.
I was
You were pretty
calm, too.
quiet.
I was like, well, once we got over to the shoulder, and it happened to be on a freeway with a really wide shoulder, and then we called AAA. Then we just Googled a tire place, and it had really good reviews. Affordable tires in
Shout out to
Palmdale.
Affordable Tires.
Thank you, Julio. I did write them a really nice review on Yelp or TripAdvisor or one of those.
Sweet.
Anyways, they fixed it so fast, and we were back on the road, and we maybe lost like an hour.
I did feel like we were unusually calm because as I was
We
going
were.
across 4 lanes, you were just quiet, and then I just hear you go, "Are your hazards on?" As I'm like,
And do you find in stressful situations, it's just good to remain like quiet? Just be like, it's gonna be okay, and it was great, and it was fine, and we got everything fixed, back on the road, and then yeah, I don't know.
yeah. And then we made it to Reno, to Revisions Brewery.
Yeah,
Well, Sparks. It's actually in Sparks.
that's right, Sparks, Nevada.
Yeah.
Um,
And we learned not to gamble on a Saturday night. They took all our money.
I know better too, not to gamble on Saturdays. You don't gamble on amateur nights. You can gamble Sunday through Tuesday. That's when the machines will put out. But Saturday gobbled a lot of our earnings. Oopsies. Thanks for the money. Oh no, it's so nice of you to pay us cash.
Yeah. I'm so glad we drove all the way up here and then donated our money.
You remember? Your philanthropy.
Yeah.
Told you to put that in your act, being like, I want to say I'm a philanthropist, but I just made a very big donation.
Yeah, I don't like to say I lost money. I like to say I donated the
I made
money.
a donation to a casino. Yeah. And then we drove to San Luis Obispo. And that's when we went to this really cute bar called the Black Sheep Inn. It was by our bed and breakfast. And we sat at the bar, and there was a guy beside Jen. And I'm not lying when I say I lined that up. I was like, I'm going to make sure Jen sits beside this dude.
I just like that the only reason we actually started talking to him wasn't because I was like, oh, cute dude or something. The only reason we started talking is because he was eating a bowl of mac and cheese, and it looked so good.
This mac and cheese he was eating was literally the icebreaker. It looked so good. I couldn't even have a conversation with you. I was like,
Subconsciously,
what is in that guy's mac and cheese? That looks so amazing.
we subconsciously both were thinking maybe he'll give us a bite if we talk to him.
It's true. And what's funny is he offered to buy us each a drink. And then we're like, oh, we're going to go to another bar because we wanted to like see a little more of the town before our show. But
Yeah,
we
then
really
he-
want
yeah.
that mac and cheese. We have
We
to go back.
invited him to our show, and he came, which is nice. People outside of LA show up, is what you said.
Yeah, it's like that only happens if you're outside of LA. You meet somebody like 2 hours before your show. You tell them about the show. Then they fucking come to the show. It's like so nice.
And invited a friend.
Yeah. And it was a fun show.
It was really fun. A lady flashed me her butt while I was on stage.
Yes. She was quite drunk.
She just walked up and lifted up her skirt in no underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just
I can
like
still see it clearly.
butt cheeks. That's why our hotel room was called Field of Dreams. And I guess,
If
I
you
don't know.
build it, they will come.
And there it was. There was a bare butt.
I did bring my most special underwear to Slow, and I wore it that night. So
my
if you
God.
build it, they will come.
You have lucky underwear?
Yeah.
What? I love it. Oh my God.
I don't know if it's lucky underwear. It's just, don't you ever have a pair where you're like, right now, at this point in time, this is my favorite. So I'll wear it if I think somebody might see my underwear.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
Or if I just want to, not even if I think somebody will see it, if I just want to feel like, sometimes the red underwear can make you feel a little sexier.
I agree with that.
If I want a little swag in my step.
I'm just like, wow, why is Jen walking with a little extra confidence?
Christina's like, if I want people to see it, I just don't wear underwear.
I know. I love not wearing underwear. That's very true. Dresses with no underwear to me feel so good.
Really?
It's a dangerous situation, though. I'm not saying do it all the time. I do it when I drive to Vegas all the time. I have one dress that I always wear with no underwear, and that's what I drive to Vegas in, and it's so comfortable. But I have to be careful when I get out for gas. Because, like, you get that Barstow breeze. Do you know what I mean?
Barstow breeze.
There's always, like, a lot of wind when you're driving to Vegas. Like, so much so that it'll, like, nice, bro. You are killing it. So proud of you. Mm.
It's her fault. I was never a burper before.
Oh, my God. I'm so glad I converted you.
Barstow breeze. See, I have a really hard time going without underwear because when I was a kid, my mom would tell me, you always have to wear. So I had a cousin who I would stay the night at her house sometimes. My female cousin, we're friends, whatever. I don't know why I'm justifying, but I stayed at somebody's house. Well, no, we're friends, so nothing else. But her mom was the opposite. Her mom would tell her, go to bed with no underwear on.
Yeah, but no, yeah, you should
And
sleep
let
with
it
no underwear.
breathe.
I think that's.
So I told my mom that. I was like, Shannon, she doesn't sleep with underwear on because her mom said she's supposed to let it breathe. And my mom was like, no, you never, ever do that. You have to always wear underwear because if not, bugs will crawl up your vagina.
Ew!
She told me that as a kid. And when you learn something as a kid, I think it sticks with you your whole life.
I think that's
Like,
true.
I still just get a little freaked out not wearing underwear that something's going up inside.
I would too, though. I remember I had this one pair of underwear when I was a kid, and I'm talking like really young, like 4 or 5. Like I was still in an old. I had to be pre-6. This is how young I am, and I have this memory. But I had this pair of like strawberry shortcake underwear, and I loved them so much that I wore them like every day.
Without washing?
Oh no, that was my first lesson in skid marks.
Wait, you re-wore them even after putting
Like-
skid marks?
I swear to God, I wore those underwear like 3 days in a row once as a kid, and then I was like, oh my God.
Did you get like a vaginosis or anything? You can
Oh,
get
well,
some,
I'm
like-
sorry.
I'm surprised I didn't.
Did you say vaginosis?
Yeah, bacterial vaginosis.
I've never heard the word vaginosis.
Oh, yeah, it sucks.
Oh, dear.
It's just based on hygiene. You
Well-
know?
Is it like a yeast infection?
No, I think it's different, and that's where my knowledge on it ends.
Oh,
Oh.
something else to Google for next
Oh.
week. Vaginosis,
Okay.
vasectomy. This is like,
Haley put down that's where it ends. I will speak nothing else.
I mean, maybe, yeah, I don't know. You're right. I should have had something. I was like, I literally had to be like 4 or 5 years old. And I was just like, oh, I fucking love those underwear.
When you're that young, you're still fresh and, you know.
Maybe the vaginas, maybe that's how my vagina grew an immunity to.
Yeah, it's like when they say you shouldn't like use hand sanitizers all the time because then your hands are, they won't be as strong at fighting it off.
Yeah.
So you trained your vagina very young. I just picture you out just as like a 5-year-old, like doing Kegels. Work. I am training you.
Oh my
You'll be a
God.
warrior one day.
One day we will be. One day we will be in Vegas. Picking up men at the Pink Taco.
The pink taco with my dirty underwear, with my non underwear. I remember you were paranoid that you had eaten too many dates that day. And then you're like, what happens if you eat too many dates? And I was like, the only reference I have of eating dates is Porter, the kid sometimes we babysit.
Yeah.
And like, he was like binge eating dates like all
Oh.
morning. And then, like, I swear to God, I changed
Talk about skid marks.
I had to change his diapers 3 times before noon. I was
Oh
like,
my God.
anyways, good luck tonight, Jen.
So my head, even though I said but I told you, I go, I want to meet someone, but I just want to make out. Like I wasn't like out there going like I'm gonna have sex with someone tonight.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
not at all in my head.
Right.
I
well,
told you, I'm like I want to make out with someone, like something fun, like a flirtation fun. So
Yeah.
even though he came to our show, it just wasn't registering that something might happen. And we had a cheese plate, and I was like, and I never even eat dates. I'm like, I think I'm gonna eat the date. And in my head, I was like, why would you do that? Like they cause you to.
here's another detail.
Red
that-
wine, beer, and dates. That's a good combo.
Oh my God. Actually, it does sound kind of good. But here's another detail of the road trip. So in between Reno and San Luis, I read Jen, You Are a Badass Every Day by Jen Sincero. So I read her this like
It made all the difference.
positive, high vibe, high frequency, like how to live your life in a way to get things that you want, like manifesty kind of book. And it was great. There were so many good things in there. And then, yeah, and so we did. We each, there's little exercises in the book. So we're like, okay, let's throw out something we want out of tonight's show. And then there was like, that's what you said. You're like, yeah, I want to have like a flirt. And then it came true.
When we checked into the bed and breakfast, and they were like, the name of your room is Field of Dreams. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Buckle up, girl. Something's about
Shout out to the, what was it?
put
the
on
gar-
your seatbelt.
The Garden Street, what was it called? The Garden Street Inn. It was like a really cute bed and breakfast right in downtown SLO. And it was so funny because, so the same woman that checks us in makes us a really like nice breakfast in the morning. I went down. It was an Asian stir fry with 2 sunny side eggs on top. Like it had all these fresh vegetables. It felt so good. Some coffee and stuff. And then she was like, oh wait, can I say this or no?
Oh, I don't care.
Anyway, so then the woman's like, is your friend coming to breakfast too? And I was like, she's not home yet. And she was like, I've had nights like that too.
She ate too many dates last night. I had to leave her on the side of the road.
Dates.
Well, we ended up at this lovely bed and breakfast thanks to Christina because I was in charge of booking the hotel in San Luis Obispo, and when we walked into the room, Christina was quite certain there was bed bugs, and we had to bolt.
The box springs had those plastic wraps around them. Like, when like, you ever seen a box spring? If somebody's had, I think people use these if they have bed bugs or if they've been
See,
fighting
I thought
them.
it was just a brand new box spring.
We can tell by the Three's Company 1982 telephone that they haven't bought anything new at this hotel in a long time.
It was one of those hotels where the TV's in the wall, but then the wires are just coming out at you. And you're like, this doesn't look safe.
They did. They had like one of those little like boxy phones where you like pick up the, it's like ding, 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 little buttons on the front. Like, hello, is Jack Chipper there? Like, it was like super old.
She's too young to know Three's Company.
Oh my God, that's my favorite game to play with young people. Like, what do you get? So then I got a little skeevy and I was like, oh, and then we got to follow the gut, right? We got to work on that high frequency. And remember I said to you, I was like, do you see yourself getting a Netflix special and staying here? And then you said, I see myself dying here.
Yeah, it looks like a suicide
It
hotel.
did look like a suicide hotel.
That's where
But
you would go to die.
It wasn't her fault though. Like the reviews on hotels.com were like very good. and,
Really good.
like, and it was cheap. It was like $50, but it's
But
still
I
had enough
told you-
reviews.
Right after I checked in, I came back to the car and I told you, I was like, oh, it's a bad hotel when they don't even ask for your credit card. Like, they don't even take a deposit.
No deposit.
They're just
"Here's
like,
your
what's your
key."
name? Here's your
Yeah.
key. And I was like, ooh, that's a sign. And also, when the front desk where you check in, when it's a really strong smell of curry.
Oh, that happens a lot in
That
hotels,
happens
eh?
a lot in hotels.
Yeah, you're just like, I don't know, you're cooking and I don't know. But that was, but yeah, so we followed our gut. But then the new place we checked into was very cute.
So
and I want to go
cute.
back and like have a writing retreat there. I just found the whole place to be very charming. We took little photos in the lobby that looked really cute.
Yeah,
And then that's when we
slow
walked
was
around the corner
fun.
to the Black Sheep Inn. And that's where and that guy ended up buying us, like, after the show, he bought us more drinks.
He was very, very nice.
When the guy, like, even buys me, like, this has happened to me before. I'm a very good wingman. But, like, even when, April and Aria hooked up in Florence, like, I'm the wingman, right? Like, I understand you getting free drinks when you're having the flirtatious connection with the dude. But sometimes I end up helping wingman these dudes that buy me drinks, too. So, like, I'm not even putting out, and I still got 2 IPAs that night.
Maybe you weren't the wingman yet. Maybe he was still deciding which one he wanted.
Well, you could tell that I was the wingman when I was like, I was like,
She bolted.
I finished my second beer so fast. Anyways, I was like, anyway, we'll see you guys. Have fun. Bye.
I know. I feel like you ran out the door.
I totally
was like,
ran.
Oh, maybe she ate too many dates too.
But that's the thing. I think I was too hungry, and I was like, oh, I can't drink anymore because
Well,
we only had a charcuterie board, and I like a lot. Like I need a base. Again, I'm really good at drinking, but I need food and I need light alcohol percentage. And I felt like I didn't eat enough at that winery.
Definitely
Because we
not.
just had like little snacks. We just had a little charcuterie board, so I felt pretty drunk after those 2 IPAs, and I was like, I'm done, going to bed. And I was in bed by like 11:10, I think, or 11:30.
Yeah.
So that was an early show that night too.
No, he was a very nice person.
He was so nice, and that was so good. That was a successful trip.
It was successful.
You should definitely check out. So the bar that we performed at was called The Station, and then the little pub where we lucked out was Black Sheep Inn.
Yeah.
And the place where the girl who flashed you her bum
The
went,
Frog and the Peach.
she hangs out at the Frog and Peach. So if you need to see some bare butt, we recommend the Frog.
You know, it's funny. I was talking to somebody about Stanley Abyss, and I was like, "Oh, we want to do more shows there," and he said to me, he goes, "You should do it at the Frog and Peach."
They did have that stage when we walked in.
I was like, I literally only went to 2 bars while I was there, and that was one of them.
yeah. But I still felt like the angle of where the stage was would have been awkward for comedy.
Yeah, it might have been
Like it would be like having a stage where the door is, but then like the bar is over here and all the seats are like over there. It was weird setup, but the stage was facing that way. But anyways, I definitely want to go back. I definitely fucking loved it.
Haley, how's your life going?
Oh yeah, can we also talk about this though? Didn't the guy quote one of my sorry, I wasn't sure if you were. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead. Who cares?
Didn't the guy like quote one of my jokes during your set? And didn't he say that he went and watched your skits?
That's my biggest nightmare. Is the next day getting a text from a guy who's like, "Oh, I'm watching your skits right now on YouTube." Like, oh, please don't Google me. You never know what's gonna. Yeah, but you never know what's gonna come up. It could be a good video that's recent, or
Sure.
they could click on something that I did 10 years ago and
And
like
that's fine.
it's bad.
All of my clips are like 10 years old. I never update YouTube. So yeah, if you go, you're going to see something from like 9 years ago. So yeah, please don't Google me. Please don't go on YouTube unless you want to see what I look like in a Paula Poundstone jacket.
So yeah, he did quote a joke, and I think he thought that he was complimenting me. like by quoting my joke back, but it was Christina's joke. But still, kudos.
Well, at
for
least he had the
remembering.
towels. That's the important part.
At least
is
he,
that-
at least he paid attention to the show.
and there was crickets at that show too. Remember? There was little crickets like at the show.
Is there
Real
crack in this
ones?
beer? I feel like we've been talking nonstop.
Oh my god, that's good, right? Skits. Do you ever hear that word skit?
That's like
How's
what
your
your family
skit?
says.
Sierra, we're just drinking our skit juice. We're gonna go do some
Oh.
skits after this for
Like when they
stand-up.
call stand-up skits.
Yeah, no, I've heard that.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were saying that beer is called skits, and I was like, what?
No.
No,
What?
It's called supercalifragilistic.
it's our skit juice, and I'm drinking Revisions. Oh, wait, what is this one called? Oh yeah, Island Waves Hoppy Ale, 4%. It's a perfect, delicious session IPA.
Wow.
This is my favorite.
I am not performing tonight, and mine is from the dudes, and it's 9%.
Oh,
It's really high.
do you feel it?
Yeah,
Yeah, you feel it, right?
but it feels great.
Yeah. If I didn't have a show, I would have tried it, but I got scared.
I
And
feel
I
like
have to get up early tomorrow to go to Seattle.
you get nervous even when you don't have a show, though. But like you said, it's early.
It's all about longevity, though. And sorry,
There you go. 1,000 views just for that burp.
that one like hit a roadblock. Like I got halfway through the burp, and I thought there was more, and then there wasn't. You have that? You're like, that means there's still more inside of me. Yeah. But yeah, that's because I like to socialize. Like I want to stay out late. Like last night was so fun. Like, you know, we went to Flappers. I got like a last minute set and our friend Laura was on the show. Then we went out for drinks. The best was like, we were watching this guy who was like doing jokes that we knew belonged to other people. And so he did a couple jokes that were like, okay, that's so-and-so's joke. And there was another one, okay, that's so-and-so's
I
joke.
gave him the benefit of the doubt at first, but then then when you hear a couple, you're like,
There's like more than one. You're like,
is that
"Oh,
really a
no."
coincidence?
But then, you know, Laura gets back up there. She's the host. Anyways, keep it going for that guy. We're like, yeah. Like, oh, well, who cares?
I didn't clap though.
I did, like an idiot. I was like, why am I clapping for this guy? Oopsies. But then we went to the Blue Room in Burbank, which is like just a really cool, chill bar. And we
It
had
was
some
cool.
drinks. And they have the cute little snacks. They got like nuts and pretzels and M&Ms. And
I told you I
it's-
remembered those snacks.
You did. I forgot about the snacks.
Because hardly any bars give you free snacks these days, so
Yeah.
I definitely remember when they do.
And that bar is cash only, so maybe that's why they have to make up for it with little different perks. But the bartender's always really nice there. Some guy
Super
bought you a
cool.
shot.
It was really cool. Yeah,
And
I
it was-
highly recommend it.
Yeah, it was good girl bonding. We hadn't seen Laura Hayden in a long time, and so that was like, it was nice.
It was
Good little time.
powerful lady time.
Powerful lady time.
I took a last sip of beer and it went up my nose.
Oh no. And then I did go home, and it was like really late. I was like, that's the latest we've stayed up in a long time.
Yeah, it was like 2 o'clock.
Because yeah, we went home at like 1:30.
But we didn't go to the Blue Room till like 10:30. It was late,
That's true.
but it was very late.
And then I still had a charcuterie board. Like I busted out everything.
Well,
the
you are
crackers.
committed.
But it's the only way I'm not hungover. Then I wake up in the morning, I feel like great.
It's dedication.
So boom, snacks. I watch some murder shows. I really like this ID network that I've stumbled upon.
Doesn't it creep you out to watch murder shows before you go to sleep?
I have nightmares all the time.
Why are you watching it?
I don't know. I like to just keep myself on my toes. It's called the Investigation Discovery
you have
Channel. I
nightmares
believe.
all the time.
I do. I'm an idiot.
I could not watch anybody getting killed right before I go to sleep.
It's always like every single episode starts with, "It was a story that gripped the nation." And it's like, oh, that murder. And then I saw a girl I know in the show. She was like reenacting one of the crazy scenes.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I think
this
my
girl,
menopause just kicked in.
Colleen. I know. Drink some more of your skit juice and you'll cool
I
down
finished it. Maybe that's why I'm sweating.
from the alcohol.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, it was only one beer, but
But that's sometimes it all it takes.
25. Do you have?
Oh, that was a good one.
You know,
That was the rest of the last burp.
you know what's funny is the fact that I kind of talk during your burp. I bet those burp fetish people are like, motherfucker. How does she talk during the burp?
They get upset.
Do you have any last topics that we didn't cover from our road trip?
The only thing that I still have written in my notebook here, and it's pretty gross, is
It's pretty gross.
Um,
Is it about me? Or is it your fart in the car on the way home?
no, it was when we were leaving the Silver Legacy. So we went to the Silver Legacy after our gig, and then
Casino. It's a casino.
we were waiting for our Lyft driver who was
Oh,
lost.
that's right. I've
And
never seen Christina run so fast.
Something happened on my backside. Like something happened.
I'll
within
tell you
my
what
body.
happened. We ate Pancho Willie's before our show. It was delicious, by the way, but we did eat some Mexican food before our show.
It really was a delicious restaurant that looked very classy, but it still had $2 margaritas. And we
So
had a
good.
quesadilla for like $10. It was delicious, but I definitely asked for extra hot sauce and jalapenos. And then we drank all that draft beer. And right, like, you know, sometimes, and I haven't had like an emergency, like, run to the bathroom. Like, I collided with a woman on the way to the bathroom, and I like grabbed her by her shoulders. It was like, whoa, let me in.
We were on the curb waiting for our lift, and Christina looks at me because I ordered it, and she looks at me, she goes, how many minutes till it gets here? And I said, 2. And she just took off.
And I ran. And guess what?
You made
it
it
came out
fast.
so fast, I made it back in time for the lift.
Your face looks so horrified.
You know when you just feel it, when you can't wait, when you gotta go. That was, and I did it. And I got it out, and then I felt great.
Yeah. And then we went and donated our money
And then we donated
to
our money
Pancho Willie's.
to another casino.
Oh my God.
Yeah, what you lose in gambling, you'll gain in $2 margaritas. Oh well.
Yeah, if you ever go to Reno, Haley, look up Pancho Willie's.
The $2 margaritas already got me. I'm like, where can I get
I
$2
know, we were-
margaritas?
And they were good.
They were
They
good.
weren't like those yellow margaritas that are filled with mix. They were like really
Like, yeah.
good, decent
Like
margaritas.
you know when the bowl, when it comes to that kind of bowl
Uh-huh.
glass, it was like one of those. It was good, and that quesadilla was delicious. Like the layer of chicken in there was
So
like this.
good.
It
Oh
was
my
like
gosh.
hearty. But also I overdo it with hot sauce. Like you're gonna combine a bunch of jalapenos, hot sauce, and
yeah,
draft
because
beer.
that's what happened in Afghanistan.
Oh yeah,
We were in Afghanistan, and
Kandahar.
when we would go to the cafeteria in the morning on the base, she would dump all this like hot sauce.
No,
and
remember
then
the accident time though, when the chili flakes didn't have the lid on properly,
yeah.
and then I put that on my food,
And then so when
and
you're
the lid came off of the chili flakes.
when we're on the base, like, you know, we have shows at night, but during the day they take us out and try and show us stuff and whatever. But you know, it's the desert. It's empty. So they took us in the bus to the area where they have like these missiles, but we were out in the middle of like there's nothing, there's not really like buildings. They're just showing us where they launch missiles out in the desert.
Yeah.
Christina turns to me, we're just out in the desert, and she goes, I gotta go now. I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. And she looked terrified. And I ran up to one of the people. I'm like, is there anywhere out here? And he's like, there's a
There was like one bathroom across
porta
the
potty.
field.
It wasn't a bathroom. It was a porta
It was a
potty.
porta potty, and I fucking ran for it. Like, it was, run, Forrest, run! I just like went for it. I was just like, oh my god, I need this bathroom so
The
much.
look of terror on your face.
Oh my god, so that it's wow.
I really thought
It's
you
not
were
every
gonna
day.
poop in the dirt.
Oh my god, I know it's not every day I have a moment like that, but when I have them, it's like scarring like that. Wow, it was very scarring poop, you know. But then, yeah, hashtag she empty again. It's over. The Jenga game collapses. Everything falls out of my body, and then
Guys,
start again.
we gotta go.
We've inspired you to
Put on my
buy.
glasses.
Don't forget to buy Tums.
Oh, it is 9% now that I have my glasses on.
Revisions of 4%. All right,
right.
guys. So yeah, don't forget you can email us about vagitosis. What's that thing called?
Vaginosis.
Bacterial vaginosis.
Bacterial vaginosis. If you want, we can email us some information about that because we seem pretty up to speed on vasectomies now.
Did you say versectomies?
Did I? Vasectomies.
Oh, follow us on social media at Jen Murphy Comedy and
And at Walking Sauce. And then if you have questions for us,
email us
chillinoffpod.
at gmail.com.
We are such a team.
We're in sync,
I love it.
literally.
We
Just
really
like
are.
JT.
Yeah.
Baby ba ba ba. It's not an NSYNC song. That's a JT song, though. I don't know any NSYNC songs.
If you were my girlfriend, I'd treat you good. That's NSYNC.
Oh, wow, you're impressive.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So long.
Gone. Gone.